Well, 2022 was undoubtedly a year of transition for Sydney FC. They will hope the new year marks the turning point, and of course it started with that much-needed win in the Hunter, but it will mean little if they cannot back up and find some form at their shiny new stadium in Moore Park, where they've so far struggled to feel at home. Wellington Phoenix know what that feels like. They've spent much of the last 2 years as wandering nomads, largely out of New South Wales, but they are yet to beat Sydney under Ufuk Talay, and they come into this one on the back of that 3-1 loss to Melbourne City, although they threw everything at the league leaders, and with just 2 wins under their belt so far this season. Sydney weather has disrupted the test match across the complex at the SCG, but no such problems for football. Here's the team news. One enforced change for Sydney FC. Luke Bratton has succumbed to a bout of gastro. So Patrick Yazbek starts in the centre of the midfield three. Joe Lolly serves the second match of his 2-game ban. So Max Burgess continues on the left of the attack. Jack Rodwell plays consecutive games for the first time for the Sky Blues. Alex Wilkinson's return now just 2 or 3 weeks away as well. Andrew Redmayne takes over as captain. Connor O'Toole is promoted to the bench. And Adrian Vlastelica is unwell and is not part of the matchday squad. There's Max Burgess, spent 1 year with Wellington back in 2018-19, hence the handshakes with familiar faces. 23 games in the yellow and black of the Knicks before moving on to Western United and then back, of course, to Sydney FC. 2 changes for the Knicks. Skipper Alex Rufer returns for his first start of the campaign, his first in 12 months incidentally, in place of Steven Ugarkovic, while Costa Barbarouses is in for his first start since November against his former club. Jan Sass drops down to the bench, which also includes Ben Old, who's making his way back after hernia surgery. Ben Waine has, of course, now left the club to join Plymouth Argyle, so it's Barbarouses and the Pole Oscar Zavada up front for the Knicks. Well, Steve Corica earned some breathing space with that win over Newcastle last week. And of course, he knows his opposite number probably better than any coach in the competition. Ufuk Talay was his number 2 in the title-winning season of 18-19 before moving on to the Knicks. Bozhidar Kraev will need watching from the Sky Blues' point of view. He's the Knicks' top scorer with 5. Has proved to be a real handful so far. So a blast on the whistle gets us underway. Wellington Phoenix haven't beaten Sydney here at Allianz since March 2016, when Blake Powell, Hamish Watson and Rolly Bonavancia scored in a 3-1 win. However, Andrew Durante, Sydney are vulnerable at home. Could they get that elusive first win under Ufuk Talay against the Sky Blues today?
Yeah, they are. Good afternoon, Simon. Good to be here with you. Big game for both teams. Wellington obviously can go above Sydney with a win here, and Sydney FC obviously want to continue on their good form from last weekend's game with a 2-0 win against the Jets. So looking forward to this one.
Wellington Phoenix in the, I suppose you call it dark blue colours, which maybe suggests a bit of a colour clash, but anyway. And just on that team selection, Alex Rufer in for Steven Ugarkovic, who expressed a little bit of surprise at that change.
Yeah, I think so. I thought Ugarkovic has actually been one of the better players for Wellington this season. So to have Rufer come back in, maybe you alluded to it as well, Caceres is maybe the main point there, and Rufer gives a little bit more steel maybe at the back in that holding role and maybe to nullify Caceres. But yeah, really interesting change from Talay.
Big chance for the Knicks here. Lewis trying to steer it into that area, which he's done so. Zawada must score, and does eventually. And they have taken advantage of that extra man. It's Oscar Zavada from close range. And he becomes the first Pole to score at Allianz Stadium since Adrian Mirzievski netted twice in the Sydney Derby 5 years ago. And it's the best starts for Talay's team.
Yeah, it's a lovely ball. You can see on the Harvey Norman replay. Clayton Lewis with a lovely ball over the top. Lovely running behind from Zavada. And he's just nipped in, just in front of Redmayne. And he's had the composure to stop himself and finished that into the goal with a fantastic finish. He had bodies to get past on the line, the Sydney FC bodies, and he's done extremely well there.
Well, credit to Clayton Lewis for that ball right in that little corridor of uncertainty, and Redmayne made the choice to come but couldn't get there, and Zavada took full advantage. Drops for Caceres, but it's all very tight in there. Dug out by Segacic. Here's Mack looking for the angle, and he finds it. It's a really fine save by Ollie Sale. Superb reflexes, because that was travelling pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a super save here from Ollie. It's gone through bodies, always hard for a goalkeeper when it goes through legs. But he's got down nice and sharp down to his right-hand side with a strong save.
Tale, such a demanding coach, rightly so. Lewis. Kriev, they've worked this really well, Wellington. Maragis, here's Zavada. Oh, it's going to be a brilliant goal if they can finish it. David Ball couldn't. Well, they just picked their way through the Sydney defence. Unfortunately for the Knicks, they could not apply the finishing touch. That would have been one of the goals of the season.
It was a brilliant move through the middle of the pitch from Wellington Phoenix. They found really good pockets, turned into open space. Lovely 1-2s. But David Ball just couldn't get the finished product that they were looking for. But fantastic move from the Phoenix.
Very tight areas as well. Here they come again. Laid out wide by Ball, in towards Kriev, and out again by Rodwell. And Clayton Lewis getting a little bit too tight on Fondra. Here's that opportunity some moments ago. Lovely passing.
Yeah, it just gets caught. Little Ball just couldn't apply the correct amount of pressure he wanted on that ball. Kind of got stuck in between his feet a little bit. If he could have opened himself up a little more and picked out one of the corners, it's gone straight into Redmayne's hands. But a lovely ball from David Ball to get that move started as well.
It's all very disruptive for Sydney. They've got to deal with it. They've got a free kick here for the foul on Mack.
Yeah, lovely turn here by Mack. He's so good in tight areas, uses his body so well, drew the foul. Lovely piece of skill.
Rufer, Zavada and Wooten. Caballo and Mack standing over the set piece. Donachie lurking at the back post. Rodwell's there too. It's going to be Caballo, and it was Rodwell who climbed highest at the back post, but couldn't get the direction under pressure from Payne.
Yeah, it's a lovely delivery to the back post. Target was Rodwell, but Payne done enough. Got his body between the defender and the ball, made it difficult for Rodwell. Tale doesn't get many wrong when he goes for the imports. I think he's been one of the better coaches in terms of picking imports. Never really big names. No one really knows too much about them when they arrive, but they always seem to do so well. Remember when he bought Ulysses, someone like Ulysses de Villiers, nobody really knew much about him, and he turned out to be, and he still is, one of the standout players. And you know, Kriev is another one. I thought he's an excellent signing as well.
Talking of which, here's Bozidar Kriev bearing down on goal. This for two. Redmayne gets a strong arm to it. Zavada on the follow-up. David Ball trying to dig it out. Sydney defending desperately. Zavada to the back post. And it was Maragis arriving that had no control. And Wellington will perhaps feel that they should be 2 goals clear here.
Yeah, Sydney FC just opened up. Both defenders getting drawn out to the ball, but Krajev's got to do better there. Kind of got stuck in between his feet as he went to shoot. I'm sure he wished he had that opportunity again. Made a bit of a meal of it. You can see here, just kind of caught in between. Sydney FC do well to scramble in the end. But a great opportunity for the Knicks.
Just made that angle a little bit narrower. Oh, that's going to be a booking, I fancy. Yeah. Didn't even have to pause for breath. Not a good 60 seconds for Bozidar Kriev.
Maybe a bit of frustration there. He took it out on the Sydney FC player there, but yeah, not much to hide there. The yellow.
Burgess. Caballo. Burgess again. Looking to find Lafondra inside the box, which is where he does his best work. They shut him down pretty quickly there, the Knicks. Just the first glimmer of an opportunity for Adam Lafondra, which is normally all that he needs.
Yeah, it was a lovely run. Great ball from Max Burgess over the top. Lovely run, beautifully controlled. But Payne gets across, as a good centre-back should, covers his other centre-back and comes up with a crucial tackle.
Sean Evans says that will do. A very, very good first half for the Wellington Phoenix. Oscar Zavada's 4th goal of the season, while Sydney were undermanned. Lovely ball from Clayton Lewis. Andrew Redmayne came for it, but couldn't reach it. And Zavada took full advantage. They might have had a second through Bozidar Kraev. Sydney have attacked in fits and starts. A couple of half chances, but again they trail at Allianz. At the break, it's Sydney FC 0, Wellington Phoenix 1. This is a big 3/4 of an hour for Sydney FC in particular, as they try to avoid Andrew Durante, what would be a 4th home loss in 6 games since returning to the Sydney Football Stadium, which really is extraordinary.
Yeah, it's not good reading, that's for sure. It's especially coming off the back of such a poor season last year, and all the talk was that they just needed to get back to their stadium. They were kind of nomads and going from pitch to pitch over the last few seasons, and the turning point was going to be this stadium, and the results haven't shown that was the difference. So they're going to need a big 45 minutes here to turn that around.
No changes made by either coach at the break. Of course, there's no Joe Lolly to inspire Sydney, as he so often does. Luke Bratton also missing today. That one took a deflection off Lafondra, which spooned the ball up in the air. Sydney will have to start again. Put forward by Caballo. Callum Elliott has certainly done his job as a very resilient back four so far. This is Mac. Rattray for Burgess. Drop of the shoulder, got a bit of Barbarousis, but he's had to turn back out. Caballo. And the ball wasn't really on. A bit deeper, helped on by Lafondra! 1-1, oh, is it? Flags up.
Sorry.
Ryan Grant celebrating, but the flag has gone up. And I'm not sure this one's going to count. The Cove in full voice. It was a sumptuous volley from Ryan Grant, right into the roof of the net. And Ryan Grant has scored 3 times against Wellington during his career. That's his best return against any team. It's very tight. I just wonder whether Tim Payne is playing him on there. That back leg, it's oh so tight. And we are told that it is confirmed as being ruled out for offside. And Ufuk Talay has decided that changes are required. David Ball and Alex Rufer, the 2 to be withdrawn. And we're going to see the introduction of Nick Pennington and Steven Ugarkovic. Midfield reinforcements. Perhaps understandable that Alex Rufer, who's not played an awful lot of football in the last 12 months, is running a little short on petrol. David Ball picked up that whack some minutes ago. So a bit of a rejig for Ufuk Talay's team.
Yeah, a bit more legs in that midfield.
Here's Burgess. Trying to spin away from Ugarkovic, who left a trailing foot in.
Was out of this really nicely. Max Burgess, just a mistime tackle from Ugarkovic, but they're the pockets that he can pick the ball up in.
Signal goes up from Diego Caballo. Clayton Lewis told to inch in no further. Could be a key moment. There's just over 20 minutes to go. Macca's gone too deep. Just gave it a bit too much air.
Yeah, really disappointing. Really good moment. When you're chasing a game, set pieces always become extra important. You can see there he's really disappointed with himself. You expect a lot more quality from a player with his ability. Wasted opportunity for Sydney FC.
He was on the score sheet last week in that 2-0 win over the Jets. They really need the likes of him and Burgess, Caceres to step up in the last 20 minutes. This is going to be a card, I think. Bozidar Krajov, of course, was carded in the first half. Second yellow. That's just made the job of Ufuk Taleh's team doubly difficult to try and hang on to this 1-0 lead. He's off. And it seems something and nothing really on that far touchline. This will tell us more. I mean, it's certainly a foul.
Maybe it's a little kick at the end of this, maybe? Because if it's just that, I don't really see that as a yellow.
It's definitely a foul. Is it worthy of a second yellow? Sean Evans said it was. Going for the early cross. Made by Baragis. Burgess encouraged to shoot, which he did. Ollie Sale had all the angles covered. But somebody has to.
Yeah, we see here in the Harvey Norman replay, Max Burgess just looking for that top corner. We know he's got the ability to do that, but just off there.
Burgess being hassled and harried by Pennington. Oh, and it's not friendly at all between the pair. Arms were raised, heads were butted, and referee Sean Evans might have a decision or two to make here. He's already sent one player off. And they needed to keep a cool head, particularly Burgess, with the fact that his team is trailing.
I'll tell you what, Pennington did not take a backward step. He was right in the face of Burgess. Be interesting to see here what comes of it.
It's really just a typical tussle, wasn't it, for the ball? But it was when the ball had gone that it all kicked off. Carter coming out. What colour? Yellow for Burgess. Oh, and a red for Nick Pennington. Goodness me. Wellington are down to 9. Ufuk Taleh is going to go off his brain at this, I fancy. Violent conduct is the official verdict. Well, I'm not sure Pennington... If Burgess gets a yellow, I'm not sure there's a red in that for Pennington, unless you see it differently.
I don't. Unless it's the hand raised to the head or to the neck area, but otherwise they're both going at it head to head. There's no real movement of heads towards each other. You see here the heads are just together. Maybe it's the hand.
Maybe it's that hand.
It's the hand
to the face.
Is the only difference of what Pennington did to Burgess.
And Sydney will build again. Patrick Wood on the right. The Sky Blues still have hope. Dinked into the box by Wood, away by Tim Payne, who's been everywhere along with Scott Wootton. And it comes towards Lafondra, and Wootton's there again, rather Payne this time. They're pointed to the penalty spot. Another controversial decision. He spotted a handball there. Ufuk Taleh looks crestfallen, but Evans was adamant. Let's have another look. I don't even think that's come off his back.
The VAR will come in here. That has gone off his back. I don't even think it's hit his hand. Yeah.
Well, to me, that's off the back. Now, the penalty, can I tell you, has been upheld. I am in utter disbelief, Andrew Durante.
That is incredible.
Well, there's going to be ructions after this. But the way in which it's been awarded is oh so controversial. Lafondra against Sale, and Sale makes the save. Incredible, and I think justice has been done. Justice has been done, in my opinion.
What a game we have here. That is unbelievable. Ollie Sale, huge save to deny Lafondra. Incredible scenes here.
What an heroic effort.
Oh, what have we got here?
Now what's going on here?
He's come off his line or something. They're going to look at this.
Don't tell me.
This is incredible. Don't
tell me. We're looking at a post-penalty save handball. That's what I'm being told.
What?
From O'Toole's shot. I think I'm hearing laughter from the Wellington bench. Well, I think that's off the chest as well, isn't it, Jura?
It's hard to tell on that angle. But even if it hits him, I feel like his arm's in line with his body. Like, where do you... I feel that's a natural position almost. I don't know. It has hit his arm.
This is the most incredible second half of football I think I've witnessed in A-League history. I think they're going to give a penalty for this, you know.
I think they will, but I'm just always... Where are the players meant to put their arms as they slide in? Like, hold them by their sides. It's just...
I do not believe it. A second penalty for Sydney after 2 red cards issued.
Just incredible.
I mean, wow. That's all you could say. And I'm absolutely speechless. 2 red cards, 2 penalties. Ollie Sale, he could see the funny side of it. He's seen 1 effort saved. Might be the last kick of the game. And he's put it over the top of the bar.
You're joking.
I see it, but I do not believe it. I am utterly speechless.
You're kidding. Here we see on the replay, he's just gone for power. He's missed the goal completely.
Wake me up, Jura. I think I'm dreaming.
What are we watching here? What a game of football. What a game of football we're watching. It's had everything.
And I tell you what, Wellington will celebrate like they've won a grand final. If they hang on here, they have! They have done it! Heroic is only half the story. Ollie Sale saved a penalty in the 97th minute, and then they had a second one awarded, which Adam Lafondra blasted wide. 2 red cards as well. There'll be much more to come in the post-game press conference. Sydney are beaten at home once again. That, folks, was just the most remarkable second half of A-League football I think I have ever witnessed. As the Phoenix win at Allianz for the first time in nearly 7 years. Incredible. Sydney FC 0, Wellington Phoenix 1.